In this video, we're going to talk about mistakes that a lot of nice guys make when it comes to women. Yo, it's official. Like a referee with a whistle. Like, share this episode, and tell me where you're from, and smash the like button. So yeah, a lot of guys make a lot of mistakes, especially when we're in our early 20s and teenagers. We make a lot of mistakes because a lot of us have bad role models and a lot of us just haven't been taught. We don't know. So a lot of us have to, unfortunately, learn as we go. And trial and error is not always the best way. Trial and error is, sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it stings. Sometimes we never get over what happened to us in our early years. And it affects a lot of us in our later years. Shouldn't be that way, but it happens to a lot of guys. I know some guys that they got dumped 20 years ago, still haven't gotten over it. They haven't dealt with it and got past it and learned from it. They still kind of hanging on to what happened in the past. And what happens is they'll try to avoid certain altercations or any type of negativity that they think that's going to happen. They'll just avoid it. And it ain't like, there's some things you should deal with, but you have a lot of guys that have had such harsh and bad experiences with women. They'll just try to avoid all confrontation, even if it involves kids. A lot of guys will justify and say, it ain't worth it, or I don't know what to do, or they'll just throw their hands up in the air and kind of just walk away. It shouldn't be that way. You know what I'm saying? In most cases, if you try to avoid most confrontations with women and become like passive aggressive, the average woman would think that you just don't care. That's what the average woman would think. Oh, he just don't care. He doesn't say much, throw hands up in the air, there's no emotion there. He's nonchalant, like he don't know what to say, what to do. To the average woman, and this is worldwide, this is not an American thing. The average woman, because I've met women that have responded, from all over the world, would say, oh, he just don't care. That's all. He's just not interested in me anymore or whatever. And you end up losing that woman. She would probably move on and start fucking with some other dude while she's living with you, because based on your response, you ain't interested in her. You don't like her no more. You don't love her no more. So being passive aggressive is that's not the best move. Women like guys to know what they want and stand on it, be firm and fight for it. She has to know. A woman wants to know where she stands with any guy. It doesn't matter how the guy is either. He could be a street dude, but she knows where she stands with that street dude. It ain't really about his character or what type of guy he is, but she knows where she stands with that guy. Now, when it comes to the nice dude, nice guy, she don't really know where she stands with him, because he never really said it. He kind of just go along to get along, or don't want to ruffle no feathers, so he'll just kind of go with the flow. But going with the flow, that doesn't work so well. You know what I'm saying? This is what I mean when I say a lot of guys or guys and gals have bad social skills. They don't voice their opinion, don't communicate. You just kind of let things flow, and see, if you do that and kind of let things flow and kind of go with the flow, like a lot of people like to say, that's a mistake. What's going to happen is the woman is going to follow your lead, because that's what she's used to. She's used to following the man's lead. Because a woman going to look at her like, okay, what? She's trying to figure out what you want. She's waiting on you to make a move or voice your opinion based on what do you want out of this thing we got going on. Maybe you've been around her for a couple weeks, couple months. You see her, I don't know, probably once, twice a month, something like that. And after about maybe 3 to 6 months, you ask her, hey, let's go out of town together, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe before that, you was just telling, hey, let's go to dinner, or let's do lunch, or let's go out to the nightclub or some shit like that. That's one thing. That's like a couple of hours or maybe overnight type of deal. But when you ask a woman to go out of town, would you like get in the car and drive 3-6 hours away, or get on the plane and you spending real money, like going on a vacation? That's like next. It's kind of next level, because she probably never had a guy did that before. So in her mind, it's like, okay, where is this going? You know what I'm saying? This dude want me to go to Thailand with him for a week on a vacation, and I have to see if I can take off from my job. You know what I'm saying? Because, maybe she got one of those jobs where when it's time to take a vacation, they don't want to let her. They be nitpicking, don't want you to go on vacation. So she's like, damn, I got to see if I can take off for a week. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been to a place. I ain't never left. She might don't even have a passport. She got to get a passport. Then she got to see if she can get the days off a whole week, 7 days. I'm like, damn, this shit getting serious. So now that's going to boggle her mind. She's like, oh shit, he must really like me if he wants to take me that far outside of the United States of America. You know what I'm saying? But this goes on and on. You don't really say anything. You just having a good time or whatever. Y'all go on the vacation, come back. Everything goes back to, normal. You probably call her every week. And then the following week, you ask to see her and she'll come out. And this might go on for another 6 months. And she'd be like, well, damn, I don't know. I know we spent a lot of time together. I got to know him pretty good or whatever. But you still don't say anything. You just kind of like Like everything's kind of up in the air, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm telling this story, because this is quite common. This is quite common. You know, now with the exception of going on a vacation, if you take that out, the story, just meeting for dinner and seeing a girl twice a month, going to the nightclub, doing lunch, that's quite common in North America, even South America, I would say. And like food, eat, sleep, sex, I would say that's kind of common, and not in no order either. You know, eat, sleep, food, sex. That's I would say that's pretty common, and this might go on for months, weeks, years, sometimes. And the man, if the woman doesn't say anything, the guy probably won't say anything. What usually happens over, depending on what type of woman you're dealing with, she might say, hey, well, wait a minute, where is this going? You know what I'm saying? Because you have to understand, 9 times out of 10, she got other guys too that's calling her or trying to get with her. And you're doing things that's quite different from the rest of those guys. So if this is going to be something serious, she'll just go and cut those guys off and just go all in with you. You know, that's why a woman will ask a question like, where is this going? You know what I'm saying? Because she already got other guys that's interested in her. Maybe she thought about settling down for the long term. But if you're serious, she'll just go cut them other dudes off and she go all in with you. And y'all go on, move on from there. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. So, to me, that makes sense. But the problem is most guys are too passive. They won't really say what they want. Now, maybe they don't know what they want. You know, I don't know. But that's not good either. And the reason why a lot of guys don't know what they want is because they don't know who they are in most cases. And if you don't know who you are, it's going to be hard to know what you want. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And what usually happens is a lot of dudes, once they start, if they have too many bad experiences, and if they feel like they should avoid as much confrontation as possible, what's going to happen is they'll start to experiment. They'll be like, okay, I'm going to date this type of girl. I'm going to date this girl from another country. Or I'm going to date this girl from another culture. Or I'm going to date this girl at the job. Or maybe somebody that he never even thought about dating before. Or I'm going to date the white girl. You know, I'm going to date the Colombian girl or Mexican girl or whatever. And so in his mind, he'll be like, oh, they lay back. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really aggressive like that. They talk to me different. They treat me different. Well, yeah, because you're different to her. She doesn't see you like she sees the guys that she grew up around, which makes sense. So of course you're gonna get treated different, but that different don't mean better. Like I always say, just because you have a different experience, that don't mean it's necessarily better. Now, when you talk to some of these other guys within her culture, you probably find that I'm not really getting treated better than those guys in her culture, but I'm just being treated better than the women in my culture or than the women that I grew up around. And that's fine if that's okay with you, you know what I'm saying? But in my mind, if I find out that I'm not being treated better or at least the same than the guys in her culture, I would have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, treat me just like you would treat those guys. Where you from? The guys you grew up around. You know what I'm saying? Well, why half-ass it? I mean, why go be halfway in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out? No, I would have a problem with that. That wouldn't be cool with me. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to understand, everywhere you go, you attract who you are. It doesn't matter if you in another country, another city, another town. Y'all ain't got to speak the same language. And it's been, I think Harvard and Yale and MIT have ran experiments with this. They put like hundreds of people in the room, and after about a couple of hours, I think an hour or two, usually the people that vibe together usually find each other, usually end up talking to each other and mingling with each other. You know what I'm saying? And this is scientifically proven to be true. This ain't no made up pseudoscience, new age bullshit. This is just what it is. And now that I think about it, everywhere I've been to, this has been my experience. You know what I'm saying? And every stage of my life, 20s, 30s, and 40s, I've changed. I've become like a new person, a new man. Like how I was in the 20s, I'm not like that. So I don't attract or vibe with those type of women that I would in my 20s. Like if I was to meet somebody in my 20s today, we would not hit it off. I mean, of course I would speak and be cordial or whatever, but if I met somebody today that I met in my 20s, we would not connect like that. We would not be vibing like that. It would be like maybe a little awkward. You know what I'm saying? Because if 9 times out of 10, they still doing the same thing. Because I know most people don't change unless something tragic happens, like life or death experience or something like that or whatever. But that's a very small percentage of people. Most people don't change. And I've changed a lot over the past 20 years. So I probably will not be able to vibe with those type of people. Now, will we get along? Yeah, I mean, we get along or whatever, but we ain't really we wouldn't really be on the same page. You know, because 9 times out of 10, they still in the clubs, you know, drinking, getting high, partying, and I'm not really on none of that shit. I ain't really on that type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really on that type of frequency. So I wouldn't be around them like that. Yeah, I'll check up on them every once in a while or whatever. Or if we got if we want to do some type of business or whatever, okay, yeah, but we ain't hanging out. Cause I ain't really on that type of vibe like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is. You know, you get who you are, regardless of where you at in the world. You know, that's just what it is. And y'all don't even have to speak the same language. When I went overseas for the first time, when I went to Japan for the first time, I didn't speak no Japanese. I didn't. And the people I was talking to most of the time in the beginning, at least for the first 6 months, they barely spoke English. But we still vibe. We still could communicate pretty decent. And over time, I understood Japanese better and they understood English better. You know, but there still was a vibe there. You know what I'm saying? We still was able to build a connection. And see, if there's no connection there, It's easy for someone to just leave. It's easy for a woman to just leave, because if I didn't put in anything, I mean, hell, what the hell am I staying here for? It's easy for somebody to leave if they ain't really done shit, or they put in very little. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how it is. And plus, if you're one of these passive aggressive dudes that try to avoid confrontation, but shit, in her mind, well, you don't care anyway. Because it's kind of like you justify why it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? So in her mind, like, well, he said he always say he ain't worth it, and he ain't like this, he ain't like that. So, you know, so being passive aggressive, that shit don't work. That don't work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, just being in a woman's presence can build a connection. You don't necessarily have to talk all the time. Just be there and just listen. You don't got to do a bunch of talking. Just be there and just listen, or just be in the same room. You might be on a computer. She might be on a computer, or you might be on a computer, and she just sitting down looking at TV or whatever, and you just sitting down. Y'all don't necessarily have to be talking all the time. You don't have to necessarily be doing something to vibe with each other. No, you know, that's kind of a myth where it's like, if I'm around this person, we got to be doing something all the time. No, you don't necessarily got to be doing something all the time. Sometimes just being there and just ask questions and just listen what the other person talking about. See, today nobody's really listening to anybody today. You ever been now? You known someone that you probably more than likely you had someone did this to you this week, where you talking to them and they on the damn cell phone at the same time. They're not. You don't really have the full focus, 100% attention. You got probably half of it. They texting somebody at the same time while you talking. Put the damn phone down. Just put the phone down for a couple of minutes. Ain't that much going on. Most people ain't got nothing going on anyway. That can't wait for 30 minutes. Or maybe longer than that. Whatever's going on, whoever's sending you a text or email, it can wait. Trust me. Shit ain't really that. Most people ain't really got shit going on like that. So just put the phone down, ask a question or two, and just listen what the other person says. Listen to what they got going on and how they feel about whatever is going on. You don't gotta you don't have to talk much, and you don't have to have a full-blown conversation. And do this, you can do this every day for 5, 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, if that. You know what I'm saying? And over time, a woman will feel like, oh, he actually listened to what I say. You know what I'm saying? And this in her mind, you know, she'd think, oh, okay, he actually listens to, he cares about me or whatever. And then if you throw sex on top of it in the equation, that's even better. You know what I'm saying? And assuming that is good now. If it's whack, don't be having no bad sex now. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the thing. A lot of guys have this myth that if a lot of guys lead with money, which is another big mistake. You know, because see, if you lead with money, she's never going to respect you. Never, ever, never, ever. Never, ever, never, ever. Even a prostitute don't even respect you. Yeah, a prostitute don't even respect you, bro. So if a prostitute don't respect you, you know a gold digger ain't gonna respect you, and a regular broad ain't gonna respect you. It ain't happening. Now you might say, well, I don't even care about no respect. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you know, if you want to go down that path, hey, knock yourself out. But the problem is how much money do you got to spend? You know, because when the money, when you can't afford to keep paying, that bitch gonna be gone because she don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? Now, some guys will, you know, well, see, most guys ain't rich. Most guys can't afford to keep paying out money. Even a lot of rich guys can't afford to keep paying out money like that. So if you work a 9-to-5 job, you can't keep doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how much money you make. If you make a 9-to-5 job, leading with your wallet, that ain't the business. No. You need to lead with something else than your wallet. That don't work. And plus, if a woman don't respect you, she ain't gonna really take you serious. She ain't gonna follow your leadership. She gonna look at you as a big ass trick. So just going down that path, that's a recipe for that. That's like a Titanic going down slowly but surely. So that don't work. You know what I'm saying? And then you got some dudes, man, are just hopeless. Some guys are always gonna be tricks. It just don't matter. You can tell them all. You can show them. You can give them examples of examples over and over, explaining them why leading with money don't work. They still not gonna listen. Some guys are just broken. You can give them countless examples of celebrities, people that they know, you know, people that are not even celebrities. They probably just working class people, and they still not gonna listen. They still gonna somehow believe that, hey, this bitch is all about money these days, man. It's all about money. And she just want my money and all this, but like somebody's trying to get his money. I'm like, bro, how much money are you rich? No. How much money how much money we're really talking about here? Because in his mind, that $40,000 he make from his job, he thinks somehow the woman is trying to get at is $40,000. I'm like, bro, you have nothing to lose, bro. You make 45,000 a year, bro. Or maybe less than that. You have nothing to lose if you a working class dude making 40 G's a year. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be clear. You have nothing to lose. There's no risk. They're like, well, later on, she can put me on child support or whatever. I'm like, well, how much is child support going to be, bro? $100, $200 a year? No, I'm sorry. $100, $200 a month? Bro, if you can't afford to pay $100 a month, you shouldn't be having kids. I'm not saying a woman putting you on child support is right. Going through the court system, I'm not saying that shit is right. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, if a woman respects you and has a strong connection with you, she ain't gonna put you on no child support. You only put most of the guys that's on child support are usually guys that women don't respect. I guess the guys that women, a lot of street dudes on child support. A lot of guys, I would say guys that she just don't respect for the most part. The guys that leave with their wallets, they're on child support. But for the most part, and this is what I've been seeing over the past 30 years, I don't know. I know very little guys that's on child support that women respect. Now, I know some guys that put themselves on child support. And that's his prerogative if you want to do that, if you want to go through the state or whatever. But for the most part, unless he's a beta guy, they put them on child support too. But they don't really respect the beta guys, though. They never respected him from the get-go. The whole thing was just, he was just something to do until she just settled with him until, well, the next guy would come along, but the next guy never came along. So she just got what she could get out of him. And once the beta dude figured out that this woman ain't really feeling him like that, she was like, okay, I guess I got to go to plan B and try to rape him and get everything I can, and before it's time for me to get up out of here. That's so the relationship, if the relationship falls apart with the beta dude, the woman is going to prey on him. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it's right, but that's usually how it go. You know what I'm saying? Because the beta dude, once the beta dude learns that he's been being manipulated for all this time, he's gonna feel a certain type of way about that, and he ain't gonna really more than likely he's not gonna be nice about it, which he shouldn't be nice about it. But the woman is looking at it like, okay, if he wants to play that game, I'm going to be even more vicious. I'm going to even be more vicious now. I'm going to put his ass on child support and collect alimony, because I already got 1 or 2 kids, and I ain't leaving empty-handed. You know, if we can't come out with some type of agreement, I'm going to just have to do what I got to do. And this is where this is what happens when a woman deals with a guy that she wasn't really into in the first place. You know what I'm saying? That it shouldn't be that way, but a lot of women settle. A lot of women settle because they don't want to be out in them streets. Because a lot of women just didn't know how to get the guy that they wanted to be with. And it's sad but true. You know what I'm saying? And you just got preyed on by this woman that wasn't really into you in the first place. And in a sense, the both of y'all were kind of taking advantage, because the beta dude is looking at it like, hey, I'm the nice guy coming in, and he's trying to please her and impress her and take care of her and be a good provider and all this shit or whatever. But she ain't really into him like that. And she know that she don't really deserve all the shit that this guy is doing, all the gifts and all this extra shit, but she ain't gonna turn it down. But it shouldn't even go that far. They should never have been together in the first place. And the both of them know it, but they just don't want to deal with it, because the shit is all right. They have a little fun every now and then. They get to hang out with family members and friends or whatever. But they know they're not really into each other like that. But they still, okay, maybe it'll get better over time. And they justify why they had to stay together. It's convenience or whatever. And then they start to experiment and having threesome maybe, or you know, they just keep going somewhere all the time. They go out of town all the time. They go on a vacation, maybe once every 6 months, some shit like that. They keep doing shit. You know why they keep doing shit like that, these couples? Because they're not really into each other like that. So they got to be entertained. This is where the drinking and the drugging comes in at. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're really into somebody, you don't need no alcohol or no drugs. You ain't really need to have no threesome. Y'all don't really need to do shit. You can just be in the presence of this person and everything is natural. Y'all, it's a natural vibe. You don't need no alcohol or no weed or any type of drugs, or need no a third person to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And some people say, well, we've been together for 20, 30 years. That ain't no excuse. I know people that's been together for a long time, 20, 30 years, but they still have a connection. They still have a bond. And there's still, the respect is there. You know what I'm saying? They don't need to have a third person to come in to make things better. They have that fire, like some people like to say. What it is, they shouldn't have been together in the first place. That's the problem. And a lot of times, a lot of people have trauma and shit they never dealt with that's blocking what they have going on in their current relationship. That in order for them to really have a breakthrough in their current relationship, they have to deal with what happened in their childhood. A lot of people have trauma shit, they don't even talk about it. They kind of forgot about it. Some people actually forgot about what happened to them. You know, because a lot of people don't want to talk about it. Maybe they got molested, or ain't no telling. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they got PTSD. Ain't no telling what has happened. Because most people that you meet, and most people that I've met, something bad has happened to them. Where, and they never really dealt with it. Never really learned from it. Because maybe they was too young, didn't understand, and it could have been a parent that did something awful to them, but they never got past it. They never seek professional help or talk to anybody about it. They kind of put it under the rug, swipe it under the rug, and just kept moving on with life. And what happens is those traumas and trials and tribulations, things that happen to us, if you don't deal with it, if you don't seek some type of professional help, or just talk to somebody about that shit, if you don't do that, that's gonna hold you back. And that's where a lot of issues come from. It stems from in people's relationship. And it don't necessarily got to be with your wife or your husband. It could be just interacting with people just in general, relationships with people in general. This is why some people do little weird shit, and you be looking like, what the hell's wrong with her? That's kind of, they get triggered easily. They get nervous easily, and I'll be like, yo, what's up with that? A lot of times it's because of something that happened in their past. That's where a lot of that shit comes from. You might be like, oh, it's a culture. No, everything don't got nothing to do with no culture. Some of that shit people do, it don't got nothing to do with no culture. Some things supersede culture, goes above and beyond culture. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I've learned by just traveling and being around different people from all walks of life, regardless of where they're from, how they were raised, what language they speak. Everybody pretty much want the same thing out of life. Everyone they just want to be, they just want to feel like they matter. And that's everybody. They want to feel like they matter and people care about me. That's all. They just want to be able to connect with people, have relationships with people. That's anybody, even to the person on the street corner, to the person in the ivory tower, the person in the whole house. It's the same. We're all human at the end of the day. You might say, well, some people are broken. Even the broken person wants the same thing. The broken person didn't start off being broken. He's a creation. He or she, they're a creation of brokenness. And it's just bad programming. That's all it is at the end of the day. But even that person, they never dealt with it. They just kind of threw it swept it under the rug and kind of moved on. You know what I'm saying? And that's a mistake. That's a mistake that a lot of people make. You know what I'm saying? But that holds you back. That holds a lot of people back. You know, and they have this, every relationship they get in is like a revolving door. Start, quit, start, quit. And if they don't deal with those traumas from the past, it's not, nothing ever going to work. They're going to have to keep starting all over again. You know, and I know people that's like this. They never get past it. They never have a successful relationship. They just basically run through people. You know what I'm saying? Or if they do get lucky and get into a relationship with somebody long term, it's chaos. But they don't really know how to be in a healthy relationship. They never seen it. They don't know what it looks like. They don't know what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? It's sad but true. You know, there's some people, man, I know they'll die. They're gonna die alone. It's men and women. I know it's like this. They're gonna die alone. They're never going to have a healthy relationship because no one likes being. A lot of people, man, they're not really fun to be around. They're not. I mean, some people I know, I've met, I'd be like, who the hell wants to be around this person for long periods of time? I mean, I don't. You know, some people just like, I understand why they're single. I understand. Because it's like, I mean, it has to be a reason why people like being around. There's a reason why people like being around me. It has to be, you have to give people a reason. Like, whether it's unconscious, you know, you don't have to say anything. People be like, oh, I like, when they meet up with you, they'll be like, oh, I like, or talk with you on the phone or whatever. They be like, oh, I like talking to this person. Oh, I like being around this person. I like being in their presence. You know why? Because people like themselves better when they're around you. That's why that's why people like being around you. They like themselves better. They feel better about themselves when they're around you. They feel like they can learn something from you if they're around you. And you don't even have to pay for that. As a matter of fact, if when people come around you, if they like being around you, let's say you go to a restaurant, they invite you out or whatever, or you might invite them out, and I mean, if I invite someone out, I'm paying because I invited them, right? And shit, they had such a good time being around you. They'd be like, look, I got it. I'm paying for everything. You know what I'm saying? I insist. Because you made them feel a certain type of way. They just had a good time just sitting down and talking to you. And you didn't have to do it. You didn't have to go on stage and dance and sing and entertain them, do none of that shit. You just sat down, had a nice conversation with them. And they learned something from you. You know what I'm saying? And when they leave, they're going to be like, damn, man, I want to do that shit again. They're cool as hell. Or that dude cool as hell. Or she's cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? And if you ever need any, and if you call them or if they could ever do anything to help you out in anything, they would be happy to do it. They would be happy to, hey, yeah, I know somebody can do that shit. You know what I'm saying? They'd be happy to help you out. And you don't have to pay for that. You don't have to pay for it. They'd be happy, like, yeah, man, I know someone can do that shit. Or I can do that. Or they can do it directly. I can help you do that shit, man. I know somebody can help you with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you can have, and I got relationships with people that's just like that. You know, there's women that when I like go back home, or you ain't got to be back anywhere in America, even overseas. When I show up, man, they roll out the red carpet for me, man. Like, let's take black women, because I'm around black women majority of the time. Right? Man, they roll out the red carpet for me, man. Man, they love me, man. There's no women that love me more than black women. That's just what it is. I got aunts, cousins, all, you know, back home, all, you know, no other women. I don't know any other group of women that have loved me more than black women. And they love me. They respect me. They understand where I'm coming from, and it just is what it is. You know, and I didn't have to pay for that. I didn't have to do anything extra. You know what I'm saying? Now you be like, well, other women treat you better and this and that. Look, I get treated well anywhere I go. But there's different levels to this shit. That's all I'm saying. My dad used to tell me, you get what you catch. And the amount that you catch is a direct, it's directly attached to how good you are as a man. My dad used to tell me that shit. So he said the best thing you can do as a man is to become the best you can be, or be the best you can be at any given time, regardless of where you at in the world. Because at the end of the day, everywhere you go, you attract who you are, not what you want. Now, even if you try to finesse your way into being in the presence of some woman, and y'all not really vibing, well, it ain't gonna last long anyway. Cause she gonna realize that you a fraud. Cause she's gonna be sitting with you, being around you, and she gonna be like, there's something missing. Something ain't right about him. We ain't vibing. You heard a woman say this before. There's something missing. You know, something just not right. And 9 times, what that really means is y'all not connected like that. Y'all not vibing like that. That's what that really means. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not really that type of dude. You're not the dude that she thought you was when y'all first met. That's what that really means. And once a woman gets that feeling, that relationship is over. It's not going to last long. Yeah, she might stick around for a while, a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple months. But eventually she gonna be gone. Even if you finesse your way, even if you sell her dream and start lying, because you know a lot of guys do that shit. You know, but you don't gotta lie. You don't gotta lie to kick it. Now, I know a lot of guys can't pull it off. A lot of guys have to lie because they can't afford not to lie. I understand this. But that's a sad way to live. That's a sad way to be. You have to lie your way into everything. And that ain't gonna last either. That ain't gonna last. You're gonna have to keep starting all over. Now, if you manage to stay around a woman in a long-term relationship like that, well, the both of y'all lying, well, that's a dangerous person, a dangerous position to be in. Or maybe you learn that she lie a lot. She's a chronic liar. Well, that's a dangerous person to be around. Because someone that lies a lot, man, they're liable to do anything. They'll even have you killed. Yeah, they'll do anything. They'll have you killed. Because somebody that lies a lot like that, ain't no telling who they would meet. Ain't no telling who they would meet. And people that lie a lot, you know, my mom used to say, if you lie, you steal. My mom used to say that. It's true. If people that lie a lot will steal. And they'll hang out with people that have that same mentality. And they'll start to hang out with people with that same mentality. And they'll start talking to people with that same mentality. And who you think they're gonna be talking about? They're gonna be talking about you, the person that they live with. And that's when the plotting and scheming is gonna be coming about. Cause you always have to keep in mind that everywhere you go, you attract who you are. And those people are going to instigate and try to talk her into doing things. And don't be surprised if you're a part of making plans to do something about it. Oh yeah. Don't be surprised. You know, we've heard stories about people plotting, scheming to kill people, kill their husband or their wives, and they took out an insurance policy on the person months in advance, 6 to 12 months in advance, and the person dies all of a sudden. Sometimes sometimes they find the killer, sometimes they don't. There'll be a closed case quick with the quickness. We've heard these stories. As a matter of fact, there's a celebrity that got killed last year. He got killed. They said he got killed in a hotel. Somebody called him to a hotel, and he ended up dead, shot to death at the hotel. And the case ended. It was a closed case very quickly. And 9 times out of 10, in them type of cases like that, it's usually the person that they got married to that set the whole thing up. They might didn't do it directly. They might have hired somebody else to do it. But usually they were behind it. We've heard these types of stories. Might not be nobody close to you, but we've heard these types of stories either online or some celebrity, or we've seen movies like this. We've seen more. Fatal Attraction. I think Fatal Attraction was like one of those type of movies where, you know, the wife plotting was I think plotting I think it's True Romance. I think that's True Romance, where the wife plotted to kill the husband, and took insurance policy out on the dude and got the dude killed, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I I actually knew a guy. I went to high school with a guy like this, where he took his wife fishing in a boat in Black River, where I'm from, and he drowned the bitch. And he made it seem like she fell off the boat and drowned on her own. But after the autopsy, they found out that she was choked. And but this was months. This is after the funeral. The evidence came out and everything, and he ended up going to prison. I don't know how. I don't know how they put everything. Some private investigator, they put everything together and found out that he strangled her because they had fingerprints and all that shit or whatever. And then somebody else came out and told on him. He actually told somebody else that he plotted to kill her and everything. You know what I'm saying? I went to high school with a guy that was like this. It's crazy, But yeah. And he was one of those types of guys. He was a liar. We used to call him the Lion King. He was a liar, a cheater, and a robber, and a killer. So it's dangerous being around people that lie like that. You got your best bet is to plan to get away from people like that. Life is too short to be around people that really ain't fucking with you like that. You know what I'm saying? Now I know some dudes be like, "Oh, I don't want to start all over, man. It's hard, man. Man, I put in all that time. Man, look, please. Once you get rid of her, the next girl you get with is gonna be 10 times better, and you'll have much more harmony. Y'all be on the same page, and you look back and be like, damn, what if I didn't get rid of her? I would have never met her. Yeah, that's what usually happens. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid of having to start over. Shit, that's just part of life, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometime, when one door closes, the next will open. That's why I always say, I have open door policy. When a woman leaves, she can leave at any time. And I always say, hey, when you leave, you can't come back. And it's best to leave with your dignity. If you leave in a nasty, vicious way, oh no, it's really gonna be you really ain't gonna be able to come back. No. I won't even have no conversation with you after, if you leave nasty and vicious, but she can leave peacefully. We don't gotta act a fool and call no police and all this craziness. No, so that's all I got to say. Like, share this episode. Don't forget to check out my Patreon and all that good stuff, especially if you want to date women online. Just go to my Patreon and click on the shop tab. That's how you find out more about that. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.